From humble beginnings across the southwestern United States on July 1, 1919, to their dynamic presence in today's global theater, Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson's 3rd Wing is celebrating 100 years of service. The War Department activated the Army Surveillance Group at Kelly Field, Texas, in response to the Battle of Juarez during the Mexican Revolution. The group was scattered in small outposts in Texas and Arizona to patrol the border and monitor the unrest in northern Mexico. Adapting new technologies and advances in aerial warfare during the interwar years, the Army Surveillance Group changed their name to the 3rd Attack Group. The group's primary focus consisted of aerial experimentation and the progression of American combat doctrine. The 3rd was integral in pioneering dive bombing, skip bombing, and parafrag attacks that were later employed by U.S. Army Air Corps bomber squadrons during World War II. Following the attacks on Pearl Harbor, the 3rd conducted a series of dangerous combat operations against Japan. Flying with one operational squadron, the missions yielded immense losses. Through the resourceful acquisition of aircraft and supplies and imaginative maintenance, the group forged together enough aircraft to continue combat operations until American manufacturing could foster replacements. In 1942, the 3rd became the 3rd Bombardment Group. Using field modifications on the new B-25 bombers, they saw notable future success. The 3rd spent 41 months in combat, destroying 642 ships, more than 2,000 planes, and killing an estimated 41,000 enemy troops. After World War II, the 3rd was widely renowned for their ingenuity and combat proficiency. The 3rd Bombardment Wing was called on to provide the first bombing mission of the Korean War in 1950. On June 29th, 18 B-26 invaders took off from the 3rd's airbase in Iwakuni, Japan, and bombed the Heijo airfield, destroying an estimated 25 aircraft. Additionally, the 3rd was credited with the first aerial victory of the war when Army Air Forces Sergeant Niall Mickley, a B-26 gunner, shot down a North Korean Yak-3 fighter aircraft. Redesignated as the 3rd Tactical Fighter Wing in 1964, the wing immediately began training for escalating tensions in Southeast Asia. The Vietnam War stretched the 3rd's forces out to 6 air bases throughout 3 countries, demanding more than 200,000 combat missions. In keeping with their heritage of innovation, the Air Force selected the 3rd as the only unit to combat test the new F-5 Tiger multi-role aircraft. Conducting over 2,600 combat missions over Vietnam and Laos and losing only one F-5 to enemy fire, these combat tests allowed fighter aircraft technology to evolve, eventually leading to the creation of the FA-18 Hornet. After the Vietnam War, the 3rd permanently moved to Clark Air Base, Philippines, and produced what would eventually become Red Flag, Alaska, the world's premier international air combat exercise. In 1991, the DoD moved the 3rd to Elmendorf Air Force Base, Alaska, and redesignated it then as the 3rd Wing. In 2007, the 3rd traded in their F-15s for the world's first combat-ready 5th-generation fighter. With the introduction of the F-22 Raptor, the 3rd's role in the Pacific became immediately known. Using state-of-the-art stealth technology and many other high-tech features, F-22s regularly launched from alert cells at Jber to successfully intercept Russian bombers drifting into Alaskan airspace.
I'm at 1-0. Like a star comet? Yeah.
The current mission is to provide the U.S. Indo-Pacific Command with trained and equipped tactical air dominance forces, command and control platforms, and strategic and tactical airlift resources for contingency operations. Since the 3rd's move to Alaska, the wing has successfully contributed to 5 major operations, counter-drug efforts in Panama, and humanitarian aid missions throughout the world. The 3rd Wing continues to stand ready to support the defense of North America and the Pacific region. Although aircraft and airmen will change, the foundation of the 3rd is firmly planted in the soil of American military history.
Let's go to the left wing. I'll have my 3 and 4 rejoin to the right.
Copy that.
5-6. We'll get it.